Alright, Bonehawks, this video is all about Quan Chi. Recently, Sonicfox made a new tier list and dubbed Quan Chi the worst character in Mortal Kombat 1. And let's talk about it, because I'm interested to go over some of the talking points that they were going over. So, let's start from the top and break it down. Let's get into it.
Accept your death.
So talking point number one is his pokes are bad. Which, not wrong. His pokes suck. We have 9 frame down 1, 11 frame down 3, 13 frame down 4 being arguably one of his better pokes. So what they were showing off was that if down 1 on block can actually get punished by Johnny Cage's forward 3. It's a 1 frame punish. You know, it's a 9 frame move against a -10 move, so I mean that is something to be said there, but either way you're giving up the pressure to Johnny Cage for free, which, I will be clear, Johnny Cage is easily Quan Chi's worst matchup, bar none. Like, this character sucks to fight against. We can keep him away a little bit, but we'll talk about that another time. So, one nice option that was not explored in that video is the down 1 into push portal. So, although it is true that, you know, you're going to have to spend a bar to get your opponent off of you, this is actually a really good option, because even though Quan Chi can technically get punished by Johnny Cage's forward 3, he still manages to get the push-away portal up in the meantime and push Johnny Cage away. So we're going to be Johnny Cage here and see if we can't try and do something on this. Alright, so we've got Quan set to down 1. That time gets us away. I know that we can punish him in some instances. Being 1 frame perfect is not easy, though. Maybe for Sonic, that's true. But even so, even if we were to hit the forward 3, the rest of it pushes us away, and now we're in kind of a whiff situation, so hopefully we didn't overcommit to that too much. That being said, this uses a bar of meter, so this isn't particularly good. It's just an option against a matchup specifically like Johnny Cage, where we need to get out of pressure and we need to kind of guess. Because even if we did, let's say we are down 1 hit, okay? Let's just say we're down 1 hit. What are we gonna do? Like, are we gonna go into one of our many other strings that all have gaps? Like, what's Quan supposed to do with that? The only option that I think is an actual good one is A, cancel into this, which is what we should be doing anyways. Get back to full screen. Or just walk backwards. If you don't have the meter, down 1, use your hit advantage to walk backwards. You know, backdash backwards, get out of there. Because there's nothing really else that Quan Chi can be using for his pokes other than using the hit advantage to either cancel into something like that. Which, by the way, is down 4. Cannot really be punished because of the cancel advantage into that portal. So the same situation where Johnny could technically punish Quan because of the pushback on down 4, and the push away portal and the cancel advantage. There's really nothing that he can do there. And this is kind of where I think Quan Chi is actually playing Mortal Kombat 11 more than he's playing Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat 11 was a lot about kind of skirting away and figuring out how to make pokes work, and that's kind of what Quan has to do here. Because if you're playing against Johnny and Johnny's giving up his turn, he's saying, okay, I can't do anything, I'm gonna let you poke. Am I gonna choose my 9 frame down 1, or am I go for something that the read is that your opponent's blocking? So I might as well just throw out this one, which is a lot better, has much better pushback, and much better cancel advantage to go into this. They're still dog shit pokes, don't get me wrong, but I think that's part of what this character is meant to be. It's very clear to me, and I've said this time and time again, it's very clear to me that Quan Chi is not supposed to be right up in your face. If Quan Chi is in your face, you as a Quan player have done something terribly, terribly wrong. So he has some options here. They are, again, meter intensive, but pushing that allows us to get some zoning going, and possibly allows us to build some more meter. That being said, flawless block is also a thing which would negate our meter build and kind of hurts us. So I'll go into that a little bit later, but I wanted to talk on the pokes. Like, yes, his pokes suck, but this is not a character who's supposed to even do that to begin with, and I feel like it wouldn't fix anything to make his pokes any better, as far as the character design goes. Second talking point is that he does poor meterless damage, which, if we look at this, here's kind of optimal. 276 no meter. 277, no meter. So this is where a character with some sort of a launching cameo would come into play, aka Chameleon, Serena, or in my case, Shujinko, to give him a little bit extra damage. But what I want to bring to the forefront of this is positioning. So Quan, every combo pretty much ends with your opponent full screen, which is where Quan wants to be, with enough hit advantage to call out some portals and start throwing some stuff at you, start zoning, start getting some craziness with you, and that kind of a thing. So, although the meterless damage, yes, it does suck, a bit of a weird talking point in a game where cameos are kind of the game. So, although I do agree, yes, meterless damage is garbage, cameos help a little bit, but not too much, but they kind of keep him afloat, in my opinion, off of his already slow kind of things going on. His screen presence is super huge. Standing 3 was not mentioned. Forward 2 was mentioned. I'm not a huge fan of it, to be honest. It's cool that it does combo into the bone cage, though. So you can do some cool things with that, because that's like his only mid. So with characters like, say, Kung Lao, I would say Motaro, but Motaro's taking 50 health. So, I mean, there's that. That's one of the reasons that I like Shujinko with him, because you get the extra combo damage, but you also get 100 extra health on top of that. So it kind of negates a couple of his strengths, which, again, another talking point to cover that. Quan's lower health pool, don't understand why he has it. I mean, maybe I see the idea that maybe they thought he was stronger than he actually is, but I also don't think that's the only fix. If that's the only fix to make for them, no, I'm not on board for that. And I'll go over my suggested fixes later, but I just don't think that... I think that's just something he needs. Like, there's no reason for him to have that lower health. I definitely agree with that talking point, 126,000%. Alright, so going back to his back 3, which is saying his only footsie tool has a gap in it, which is fair. I don't really use this move too much in footsies. To be honest, more it's trying to like a whiff punish kind of a thing. Every once in a while I will try something, but yeah. Correct in saying you can react to that second hit. But he also has another option, similar to what I said earlier, is boom, push away portal. Now he's right where he wants to be against Johnny Cage. So, I mean, that's not too bad of an option. This tool is very, very important to his moveset and kind of covers a lot of his gaps that he has. That being said, that makes Quan very meter dependent in a game where Flawless Block negates a lot of meter build. So, look at this damage. Look at this damage! I actually could have used a bar meter. That also is one thing that I think that Quan lacks. Like, the big thing is that this costs 2 bars of meter. And then it's like mediocre damage, like 2 bars for 270 with no starter. Obviously, you're going to use some sort of a starter to like maximize things a bit, but still 335 for 2 bars is not great. So I would like to see them kind of utilize something a little bit more, because he has 1 bar combo launchers off of this guy here, depending on a cameo that you're using. I think you can do them like this, and then do like a standing 4 afterwards. 313 into a portal setup. So there's that. But, I mean, I'd like to see this kind of recover a little bit faster. Just to make combos more interesting. Also, I think Big Chompy, I think this Big Chompy should be a combo extender. Give him a 1 bar option, you know? Instead of locking it behind this, because you almost never hit that. But again, we'll go into those changes a little bit more during the end. I'm just trying to cover all the talking points. I just get a little distracted sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And the last talking point is that the portals just aren't effective against most of the cast, you know? I will disagree, and I think that this one is very, very strong and a key component to Quan's game plan. But overall, I do kind of agree that, like, even this one, like, just flawless block those, and you don't take any chip, and the flawless block is not a hard thing to learn, you just have to practice it. That one's a little bit trickier, but that's only because people don't use it as much. I think that just his design is kind of what's keeping him behind. So, I do agree, this portal is strong, but not as strong as it could be. This portal definitely is not strong as it could be. And this one is probably one of his saving graces, the push away, but it costs a bar. So let's go into kind of where I think this character should be given his tool set and where I would like to see the direction go. So there's a couple different ideas that I have for Quan based on his moveset, and a lot of it kind of goes against what some other people say. They're like, you need to make him faster, you know? All these slow buttons, he can't do anything in this game. And I don't think that's really where I'd want to see them kind of take him. I would like... This is going to maybe shock people, maybe not. If you know me, you know me. I would like to see all of his normals stay the same. Leave the gaps, leave the slowness, leave everything. At the end of the day, he always has to cancel into this. To say, leave this the way it is. I think this, the way it is fine. That's totally cool by me. A couple changes I would like to see. Enhanced Bone Cage negates jumping and teleports. If you're stuck in this enhanced bone cage, you cannot jump out of it. You cannot teleport out of it. You are literally stuck there until Quan is done doing whatever he's doing with you. I would also like to see it negate flawless blocking as well, because how I see Quan, he's supposed to be the zoner in this game, but there's too many things to skirt zoning in this game. So maybe keep the fact that the bone cage has 100 health. If you didn't know that, the bone cage does have 100 health. I'm okay with that. Maybe I might raise that to 200. I think this should be his big meter building tool. Or a tool that he spends his meter on, sorry. Because there you go, you're stuck there, you can't move, you can't flawless block, you can't teleport, you're forced to take that zoning. And maybe have it last just a little bit longer. And then Quan can kind of just huck things at you as he sees fits. As he's building meter, you know, you're unable to flawless block, you're unable to do whatever, and then trying to set stuff up like this, building meter, and, you know, regular bone cage, maybe extend how long it lasts. Nah, actually, maybe not. I think that he should be built around this move a little bit more. Keep this one so that maybe it lasts the same as the X one, maybe a little bit less, but that you can jump out of it. And then that one he can kind of be, if he doesn't have meter but he still wants to use the same kind of tool, he can do that. But he's supposed to be the zoner of the game. He's the glass cannon. He either zones you out or he dies. That's kind of how it should go, because everything he has, theory-wise, this way, works. But it just doesn't all flow together very nice. So I think that would be one of the biggest changes that I would make to Quan Chi. It's just have this be like this whole area. Same with like how this one here kind of takes your breaker and gives him armor. You could also maybe rework this to do something similar. I don't think this really does Quan any favors, to be honest, because even if he gets you in the corner with this up, all his mix-ups are reactable. He doesn't really have anything that's a true mix other than a throw, so he's just stuck throwing you forever. So give him something where, like, this is his game plan, you know? Maybe he does hit you, knocks you full screen, then he locks you in this thing, and then you're kind of forced to sit there, take all this zoning, take all this stuff. You can't flawless block. And then the second thing that I would change about him is have the tracking on standing 4 catch you moving forward as well as moving back. So have a bigger forward-facing hitbox, which is another thing Sonic mentioned, that, yeah, you just walk forward and you can completely whiff punish that. That is what's supposed to make this character super duper broke. It's a good move. It's a good idea. Got it from Warlock, except Warlock, I think it was a mid. Can't remember. But yeah, those are the only two changes I think at this point I would make to Quan. I want to see him become that glass cannon. Standing 4 combos into a lot of cool stuff too. It's pretty decent combo launcher. I don't think you would need to do much than just those two things. And yeah, if you wanted to rework this to kind of be the same idea, although I feel like the bone cage, restricting movement, restricting jumping, and especially because this, look at this, I missed it twice. There we go. The input isn't the easiest either, to put it like on your opponent. So get a little bit more reward with that and play a little bit. Put a zoner in the game is kind of how I'm thinking. Yeah, Peacemaker, whatever. True intellectual zoner right here. But to get to the down and dirty of it, do I actually agree that Quan Chi is the worst character in Mortal Kombat 1? Not particularly. I think his gimmicks work where they work, and I think they work better than some other characters who don't have gimmicks. Like, say, Havoc, for example. Havoc's health pool is a point of contention there, I will say. Maybe Sub-Zero is probably worse than Quan. But at the end of the day, can I really dispute with the best Mortal Kombat 1 player? No. I would entertain the idea that Quan Chi could be the worst character in Mortal Kombat 1. In my personal opinion, I don't think that's the case, but I'm not the one that just won Final Combat in an international championship, so... I am the one, however, who has been playing this character non-stop since day one, so I think if anyone else has more knowledge on this character than myself, maybe Broseph, so maybe ask Broseph. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video and kind of found my opinion worth listening to. Really did try to counter a lot of the points, and also while being a little bit pragmatic in the process, so... If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like because it really helps me out, and subscribe if you haven't because I make new videos almost every single day. Hashtag Bonehawks, all that stuff, and we'll see all you Bonehawks in the next video.
Accept your death.